In today's video, I'm going to show you a little bit about hiking the Highline Trail in northern Utah. The Highline Trail runs the length of the High Uinta Mountains in northern Utah. These mountains are one of the few in the United States that run east to west. The Highline Trail has more above tree line hiking than almost any other trail in the United States. It goes over a series of passes that can range over 12,000 feet. For my hike, I restricted it to the first few dozen miles or so of the trail, so I only had one pass to deal with. It was an in and out hike, so I had to go over that pass twice. The Highline Trail has a tremendous amount of wildlife on it. On the very first day, you can see two moose behind me wading around in the lake. For the first several days of the hike, I had a hiking companion, Will, from Minnesota, who was through hiking the trail. So I turned around after a little while, but he kept on hiking all the way through.
Well, these mooses are just kind of blocking my way here. Cow and two calves just chowing down. They don't seem to care. I've tried clapping and yelling and banging my poles together.
On the second day of the hike, we had phenomenal views from on top of the pass.
A cantaloupe. There's a bunch more on the ridge over there. This is a cairn. It's about 5 foot tall. That's North Pole Pass right in front of me. And I'm at about 11,200 feet. And the top of that pass is about 12,300 feet. So it's a little over 1,000-foot climb, which in Arizona, where I normally hike, wouldn't be a lot. But here, at this kind of altitude, it takes a lot out of you, so we'll see how I do. So I'm climbing here, and there's a stream, parallels the path for a little while. Some beautiful little cascades, little waterfalls. A stream crossing here. Should be fun. And this water here is drinkable right out of the stream without treatment. You don't need to filter this at all. This was melted snow not that long ago. There's the snow right up there. So that's melting, running down the hill, making the stream. Okay, I'm about a third of the way up. You can start to see the views are starting to open up, and the clouds are starting to build there in the west. It generally rains about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, so I'm hoping to get to my campsite before that happens. So I'm making headway. I have a little ways to go yet.
One of the great pleasures of hiking in this area is drinking directly out of a stream or waterfall without any water purification. It just doesn't get any more refreshing than this. This is an example of a typical campsite that I stayed at. In this case, I'm hammock camping on this trip, and I stayed at this campsite twice, which is on the edge of a small unnamed lake, not too far from Taylor Lake.
Sometimes the trail, the Highline Trail, is not very apparent. There's a nice cairn there. Where does it go after that? You kind of have to keep your eyes out for the cairn. Equally, looking ahead here, I see a post on the other side of the river, but not much of a treadway here. Not much to follow. So on this particular trail, you have to keep very close attention to the route. This is a typical river crossing on the Highline Trail. There's quite a few of them, every mile or two. No bridges whatsoever. The best you can hope for is some boulders to hop over, but you have to pretty much plan on getting your feet wet at some point. Like at this crossing, I don't think I can make it across without getting my feet wet. Fortunately, these shoes dry very quickly. Those are zero shoe sandals.
Deer were very tame along this trail. They're obviously not very well acclimated to being around people. Finally, it was time to return to the Jeep and take the trip back home again. I have many fond memories of the Highline Trail, and I hope to return again next year for an even longer hike. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about hiking the Highline Trail in the High Uintas of northern Utah. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or make a comment below.